Welcome, Christine. Nice for you to show up. I appreciate your timely manner today. Welcome to the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club, the best Rotary Club in the universe. Today's invocation will be with Mr. Skiles. Amen. Okay, please, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today's song is with, finally he's here. Rick, take note. He was the song person for this month and he just showed up. John Janicki has a song.
All right, I need some help. Can you do it, please? Come on up here. Come on up. Okay, now we're gonna do I put on railroad date. Okay, we're gonna do no right close together. Okay, get the camera on these guys. Okay. So I'm here working on the railroad, and what you guys are supposed to do is choo 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 choo. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass that time away. And you hear the whistle blowing, rise up so early in the war. Can't you hear the whistle shouting? Trying to roll your horn. Died want to roll, died want to blow, died want to blow your horn. Died want to blow, died want to blow, died want to blow your horn. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Strumming on the old banjo, I'm singing fee, fi, fiddly, I-oh, fee, fi, fiddly, I-oh, whoa, 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 fee, fi, fiddly, I-oh. Strumming on the old banjo.
And now we know what we were missing the entire month. I'm really sad about that. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? Do we have any guests of Rotarians? John, do you have any guests? Okay.
I started a new carving, so welcome, Niall. And we're carving fish, and I'm carving a Chinook right now. And it's so good, I might need to get a permit.
Okay. All right, well, welcome. I can't stop laughing. Okay, let's just move straight on to club business today. I was wondering if there's a report from the Rusty Zipper crew about their work party at Past Playground from this past week. Anyone want to give a little report? Mark Ben.
I just drive truck. You do. You did well too. Every Tuesday morning we have a group of men and women. They get together at Bonnie Joe's cafe. Everybody's welcome, but we call ourselves the Zippers, the Rusty Zippers, and appropriately named because of people like Mike Janicki and myself and Mark Nelson and some of the others that are there. But we decided 2 weeks ago that after our breakfast, we would go out to Patrick's Playground and have a work party. So those people that went to the breakfast got credit for a Rotary meeting, and those people that got to go to the Patrick's Playground got credit too. So actually there were 10 people at breakfast and 10 people at the playground. We got a lot done. We spread a lot of the wood chips around. We put, how many yards? 6 yards of sand in the area. Steve Massey tightened bolts, and so it was a good day. We got done about 11 o'clock, and then we went to Schaffner's Pharmacy for coffee, and Mike treated us. So that was a good day. That could have been another meeting. You're right. We could have got credit for. Well, he acts like it.
Most of the Rusty Zippers have a lot of makeup meetings in the bank already, so let's not push it.
Yeah, we're good for the next couple of years, I think. So,
Yeah.
well,
Okay.
I'll tell you something.
Carl, I think, had an announcement.
All right, we are talking golf. On your table is the flyer for the golf tournament. We have a sign-up sheet going around, and we're right around 25 golfers right now, which I think is great. And if you're bringing a guest, make sure and sign the guest up for dinner. We've got so many prizes. I bought raffle tickets. So it should be some fun. I'm looking for Joellen Kesty. I don't see her on the screen there. She's going to put together some things that only she can do, and we'll appreciate that. So when I track her down, I'll talk to her about that. But I think we're good to go on the golf tournament. Looking forward to it. It is Thursday, September 5th. You tee off when you get there anytime between 4 and 5 p.m. Golf, 2-person scramble, no cheating, and no handicaps. It's real simple. So if you got a ringer, you could win. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will have Josh talk about the barbecue in just a minute, but before I'll give him a second to get back up here. But don't forget, next week's meeting is canceled because they'll be doing some floor work in here. Don't forget that in October, and I know we're thinking ahead, but in October, instead of having a 5th Thursday meeting, it's on Halloween. The board decided that it would be more fun to hand out candy as a club at Hammer Heritage Square that our club constructed under Louis Requay's year. And we want to make sure to highlight that as well and let people know that's one of our service projects. So please mark your calendar in October to bring candy to one of the club meetings, because that'll be the easiest way to collect it. And that way it won't come out as a big expense to the club budget. If everyone brings a bag of candy, then maybe the club will only have to buy a bit. There's about 500 kids that attend the event. So it gives us a really great opportunity to get out in front of some younger families, and maybe we can talk about the club and spread the word a little bit so we can grow our membership. Let's see. And Christina Trader is taking the lead on that. So if you have any questions, talk to Christina. Don't forget, tonight from 5:30 to 6:30 is the school district's reading and resources night on the field between Sedro Woolley Boys and Girls Club and Cascade Middle School. The club purchased books to hand out. I have a couple of volunteers, but we could use more. And I'm wondering if anyone's available. Setups from 3:30 to 4:30, and then from 5:30 to 6:30, we'll be handing out the books. So far, I only have a couple of people who are able to help. So it'd be great if we could get 2 or 3 more out there at 5:30. Any takers? 5:30 to 6:30 tonight. Okay, it looks like it's going to be Lynn and Christine. Yay! Okay. If anyone else changes their mind, you're welcome to attend. And we have about 1,000 attendees that at the event, so it's kind of a big deal. Let's see. And then I wanted to go back to Josh and have him talk a little bit about the barbecue and what he needs, if anything.
No, we're all set. It's the planning is in work. We're hoping for a great turnout this year. It's on September 12th, right? The Thursday after the golf tournament. Okay. We flip-flop dates. We're typically, in years past, we're the first Thursday in September, but we flip-flop dates for mostly for Nick Vandershell. He's not here. I can't pick on him. I'm going to pick on him every single time about that. And the school district folks, that's the week after kind of school gets in session. In years past, we've had some conflicts there. So that's another reason why we did that. So looking forward to having a great turnout this year. Don just volunteered to bring some of his alder that he has on his property. So John, you're off the hook there. So we're in good shape. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Any other announcements? Okay, let's have a raffle.
We've got a raffle. Number 63. Pick the wine. Number 10. $23. Pelham's Vineyard Wine and Cheese Plate. We'll get a certificate for you. Last one, number 14. $5 cash. We don't have $5. That's okay.
All right, now we have Sergeant at Arms.
Tim, that $5 you just donated back will be your fine for not signing in. Today, I'm going to quiz you a little bit on that item that one day you love it, the next day you hate it, and you can't live without it. Anybody know what it is? Your cell phone. Right? You love it, you hate it, you wish you didn't have it, but everybody has one. Can't get by without it. So, what day, what year, and in what city was the first cell phone conversation? Did it take place? Huh? Okay, let's start with what year? The first cell phone conversation, when the inventor made this first phone call, in what city? Okay, you're both wrong. April 3rd, 1973 in Manhattan. $2 for everybody. John, you want to pick up for us? Okay. So when that cell phone was produced and such, what was the nickname given to it and how much did it weigh? Well, I won't ask that question then. It's not your table. You're over there. That phone had a nickname. And how much did it weigh? Okay, let's start with the nickname. Huh? Yeah. John, it's not your table. Okay. And how much did it weigh? Exactly. You guys are free and clear. It's called the brick. It looked like a damn brick. Yeah. Okay, and here's one maybe. What was the battery life on that phone? $30 minutes. So moving up a little bit farther in time, that was the cell phone. The first smartphone made its debut in what year and by what manufacturer? We're talking the original smartphone. No. This is the smartphone, the first smartphone. In 1992 by IBM. That's when they were talking about the production of it, debuted it. When did it go on sale to the public? $94. $2. You started off good, yeah. Okay. With that new smartphone being introduced and be available for purchase in 1994, how much did it cost? $1994, the first smartphones. Well, I've heard three answers here. You're close enough. $1,100. Yeah. That first year they that first 6 months sold only 50,000 of them. So it was still too new for anybody to start doing that. Okay. So you guys are good. Okay, for you three. That's fine. 4, okay. So getting into the iPhones, when Steve Jobs introduced the Apple phone in 2007, it had all these apps and things with it. How many were sold in the first year? And then again, how many were sold in the second year? So in 2007, when the iPhone came out for public purchase, how many did they sell in the first year? $1.4 million. Okay. So then for the full year 2008, how many did they sell? $2, 11.6. So in 1 year, it just exploded. And now who knows how many there are. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. In what year did cell phones get cameras attached to the unit? Made available came with a camera. In what year?
2011.
2000.
Oh.
No. Yeah. So another dollar. Okay, happy bucks.
Oh, Rick, how about online?
Well, I gave away half my questions. Okay.
And no Googling, no
Yeah,
cheating,
they probably already are.
right?
So in 1997, with the production of the iPhone, they all came out with all these apps and gadgets that confuses everybody. So when those came out and they started going crazy, what was the dollar value of the gaming industry currently after, so it's been in effect for 25 years. What is the current stock interest in what the value of the mobile gaming industry is? Nobody answering? I wish I would have bought stock. $152 billion. Okay, happy bucks.
So I got a happy buck. Adam had a little baby girl, Viola. And so anyhow, it's great. The little, it's just nice having grandchildren close to you. So that's all. That's what I'm really happy about. Yeah.
Nobody's happy today but you, Ruth. It's all yours.
All right. Hey, thanks. All right. Well, I am pleased to introduce this week's program. We have Hannah McNutt with the Bloodworks Northwest, and she's going to talk a little bit today about her program.
There we go. Hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you for lunch. It was lovely. My name is Hannah, and I am a community engagement liaison with Bloodworks Northwest. I have worked in this position for about 10 years, and I help schedule and coordinate and educate donors on the importance about donating blood all the way from the Canadian border, Whatcom County, down into Arlington and Marysville of Snohomish County. So I will tell you a little bit about Bloodworks and how you guys can help me. Is this the clicker? Okay, there we go. Where do I have to point it at though? Okay, so in 1944, the first idea of a local blood center came about down in Seattle off of Terry Avenue. So that picture is the sketch of the first building, and it is still the building that we use today. Of course, we go, 30 stories up now down in Seattle. But in 1944, a group of people got together and said, hey, there's no local blood center for the area, and we really need to change this. So they put together a new blood center, and in 1946, we opened the doors as the King County Blood Center, and we welcomed community donors to come in and to support our local patients in need. So we do a couple different things other than just collect blood. We do have a cord blood program that helps with the cord blood of when babies are born. We can take that and we can help with the stem cells that come from that. We have a transfusion medicine leading experts in that, a research facility. We help with research institutes and bio things. I don't know too much about all that. I just do the blood side of it and the donation side. But Bloodworks Northwest is robust in multiple things and not just blood donations for our community as well. So that is the area that we serve. So we go all the way from the Canadian border down into Oregon a little bit. There were 11 blood centers, fixed sites, but we just added a new one. So now there's 12. We serve all the local hospitals in Western Washington and a majority of the hospitals in Oregon, but that is starting to come in a little bit more as time goes on. So when you think of Seattle Children's, Harborview, Providence, all those big hospitals that are in our area, we are the leading blood donation company for them. And in return, they get the blood from us and give it to patients that need it for transfusions. So every 2 seconds, somebody needs blood. If anybody is willing to share, is there anyone in here that's received a blood transfusion themselves or knows somebody who's received a blood transfusion? Okay, a couple of you, that's good. How many of you have donated blood before? More, that's perfect. Okay, that's awesome. That's good. It's not good when it's the other way around. So I like to see that. You can go ahead and on to the next one. So the need, a lot of people think that the most common reason that somebody would need a blood transfusion is for like a trauma accident or maybe a mother hemorrhaging from childbirth. But the number one user of blood is actually cancer and leukemia patients. So they tend to use platelets quite often. Platelets only have a shelf life of about 7 days. So platelets are just a component within your blood. When you go and you donate whole blood, you bleed in a bag and you call it good and you head out, but that actually gets sent to the lab and gets separated into 3 different components. So there's plasma, which usually gets used for burn victims or like severe blood loss. So it kind of helps replace your blood volume. There's red cells, which tend to go to trauma victims, so somebody who's bleeding out. And then there's your platelets, and those tend to go to somebody like cancer and leukemia victims. Your platelets are actually what helps you clot. So if you cut yourself and you start clotting and you get a scab, that's your platelets working. So anyways, the number one user is cancer and leukemia patients, followed by trauma, mothers, and then transplants. So I have a little story to share with you. We can see if the link will work. Hopefully the people online can watch this. It's about 2 minutes long, so it's not too long.
My name is Scout, and I'm 5 years old.
We went to a farmer's market one weekend here, and we got Mexican food there, and we didn't know at the time, you can't taste it, but this Mexican restaurant's food had E. coli in it, and Scout just got progressively sicker and sicker. I just remember sleeping one night, and she had finally closed her eyes and gone to sleep, but she was talking in her sleep, and the only thing she would say in her sleep was owie, owie, wah. You just feel for this little fighter who's, you know, doing everything she can.
I never realized that something so simple as food poisoning would create a need for blood. It could happen tomorrow. Maybe it won't be you or anyone you know, but it will be someone. So I make a point, whenever they call me, I sign up and I go down there and I bring Scout with me. I want her to see what it is, what's happening. All these people that are so generous.
And by and large, the blood that Scout actually used, the donors didn't know it was for Scout, but they helped keep a little girl alive.
So I love this little video because I've got 2 little girls who are 6, and you never think it's going to happen to you. You never think it's going to happen to somebody that you know, but just as they said, it could. And if that blood wasn't on the shelf ahead of time, then they wouldn't have been able to help her. Over the last couple of years, my father-in-law has gotten about 5 transfusions himself. He's had a brain bleed, he's had a GI bleed, he's had a couple open heart surgeries, and it's just wild, in my opinion, that I've done this job for so long, and I don't collect this blood thinking it's going to go to somebody in my own family, and yet it has. And I was in the hospital with him down at Providence, and on the bag, you know, on the pole or whatever, was a unit of blood from Bloodworks. So I looked up the person who had donated it, and it actually came from one of my drives in Skagit County. So that was just kind of a full circle moment for me, and I think it was kind of cool at the time. So I just like to reiterate the point, you never know when it's going to be needed. A lot of times people will donate after a catastrophe, after an earthquake, you know, if there's a hurricane down in Florida and people feel like they want to help somehow, people donate after the fact, but it's really ahead of time that we need it on the shelves ready to go. So you can go on to the next slide. So this is just another point. This was the Amtrak derailment that happened back in 2017. Of course, we didn't know it was going to happen, but it was a local event that had happened. Blood was needed, and Bloodworks was there to be able to support the patients that needed it at that time. So 1,000 donors are needed every single day in Western Washington to support our local hospitals. About 10% of eligible donors give blood on a regular basis. So in general, when we're talking to a specific community or maybe a congregation at church or something, only about 10 people donate blood. 10% of that group donates blood, and then it's actually a smaller amount in reality that donates very frequently. Kind of the average person that donates blood is maybe twice a year. Usually people will donate once or twice a year. And as the years have gone on, there's been a steady decrease in blood donations. I think it comes down to the older population is just unable to donate, and the younger generation just doesn't quite understand the importance of it yet. So there's kind of a gap that we're needing to fill as time goes on. So yep, we can get together, join together as first responders caring for lives in our community through the gift of blood. I think there's one more slide maybe. So there's a couple of different ways on how you can help support us locally. Of course, donating blood's a great way. If you're unable to do that, just helping spread the word is really, really important. Maybe your local church would like to host, maybe you're part of the school district, or maybe you're part of the city council or something of that sort, and you want to get that group of people involved. The Rotary, of course, if you guys wanted to get involved and host your own blood drive, that's really helpful. We're definitely just looking for people, specifically in Sedro Woolley too, to help spread the word and get some new people in. A lot of times people just don't even realize that it's something that needs to get done. So yeah, just helping spread the word, or of course, being a volunteer or anything of that sort would be helpful too. I think that's all I had. Is there any questions that I can help answer at the moment? Yeah.
So I used to get blood all the time. I still do, but not as often. You used to be able to, like, going in, just go in.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to move up. But now, that plan.
Yeah.
So that, I just know since,
Yeah, that's a really great point. So things are opening up a little bit more. We do still ask for appointments only, just to help ensure that everyone has a good experience. In the past, when we did do the walk-ins, you know, we could be planning on 10 people for the day, and we're like, oh, wow, it's really slow. The next thing you know, a big rush of 30 come in at once. And then people get frustrated that they're having to wait an hour and a half and they've got to get out of there. So appointments are, I say, lightly required. Now, if you were to walk in and we have a gap in appointments or somebody didn't show, we're of course going to take you at that time. But if we have a jam-packed schedule, then we'd ask you to reschedule or something of that sort. So my best suggestion, if there's a day where you're like, oh, wow, there's a blood drive at the church right across the street, I have a moment today, you can go online and take a look at the open appointments and either schedule it or just walk in at one of those open appointment times. Or you can always call us too and see what the availability is for the day of. A lot of times people will cancel a day or two ahead of time and things will open up a little sooner to the day of the blood drive.
So I have a comment and a question. Comment is, I am physically here because of blood donations and survived the major accident that I was in. You mentioned the possibility of the Rotary Club doing a blood drive. What would that entail?
Yeah, so there's a couple different options. So one, we could come out and set up in a space like this. This would be a perfect room for us to host an inside blood drive. We could open it up and make it a convenient day for Rotarians to join, for the community to join. Another option, if you didn't want to host something specifically here, is the church across the street, the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, hosts a blood drive every other month for 2 days consecutively. And we could do something called a takeover drive. So where we would say, okay, all the Rotarians maybe on a Wednesday, I think they do Tuesday, Wednesdays. I don't quite remember the days that they do it. But maybe there's a specific day of the week that would work better for you guys and we're there. We can block off appointments and sign up you all as a group, maybe from 12 to 2 or something like that. So that's called a takeover drive. There's another option. It's called a virtual drive, where we set you up with a donor code, maybe 50/50 for Rotary District 50/50 or something like that. And you go donate wherever is convenient for you to donate within a specific month. And you mentioned the Rotary, Sedro Woolley Rotary brought you in, and we can keep track of your impact regionally over the course of like a month or something. Typically hosting on site is a little bit more of like a team spirited kind of thing. And if that's something that you wanted to do, we can talk about that a little bit further. So yeah, there's some options. Yes, the gentleman in back.
So a few years ago, 3 years ago, I believe, we hosted a virtual blood drive at my work, Country Middle Village, to honor one of our residents for his 70th year of giving blood. And it was very fun. There was a great article. Vince did a great article about Larry Libby in his journey giving blood, and he gave blood for 70 years. So it was really a lot of fun working closely. I don't know if I worked with you, but we had some fun people participate. So it was a great experience, and it was so fun to honor his great legacy, giving blood.
Yeah, thank you. I remember working with you. I don't know if it was you or Village Concepts. Yes, hi. Yes, yeah, I remember that one. And the article that came out from it. That was neat.
What are some of the disqualifiers for giving blood?
Great question. So typically if you're on a blood thinner, well, if you are on a blood thinner, that is a disqualifying thing. We want you to stop bleeding when we're done with what we need it. Usually for the most part, people that are healthy and well can donate. A lot of people think that if they've had tattoos or piercings, they can't donate. That's not true. People with diabetes can donate as long as you're within range and you're feeling good and feel like it's under control. High blood pressure, as long as it's, within, I think it's the max is 180/100, whether you're medicated or not for it, that's fine as long as you're within the range. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some other things. Travel comes up every once in a while. If you've gone to maybe a part of Mexico or something that's malaria risk, that would defer you for 3 months. So if you've done any travel recently to a malaria risk area, that would be a disqualifier. There's a lot of different kind of random things. So if you have any specific questions, I can help answer those. But if you have just general eligibility questions, you can check out our website or call us too, and we can kind of go through your medical history. Typically the biggest one is blood thinners though.
A difference in the quality of blood, or is blood?
Blood is blood. I mean, of course, unless there's something in it that's not good. We do about 19 different tests on it down in Renton. So of course, if something were to pop up, then we would give you a heads up, and we would not want to transfuse blood that had something in it that would be harmful. But for the most part, yeah, your blood's blood, and we're happy to have whatever kind of blood type you are. How long does donated blood last? Yeah, great question. So it depends on the component. So when you donate whole blood, that whole blood gets separated into 3 different components. Red cells last for 42 days on the shelf. Plasma can be frozen for up to a year, and then platelets is only 7 days. So by the time you are eligible to donate again, which is every 56 days, that blood has already been used and is being transfused to somebody. If for some reason we have a mass surplus, like I want to say after 9/11, everyone just wanted to really come out and donate. We had all this blood. What we'll end up doing is we ship it off to another blood center that might need it, or they figure out something to do with it. But that's usually not the case. So yeah, it's actually a pretty short shelf life.
Online question. Besides O, what are the most needed blood types?
Yeah, so O positive is the most common in this area. O negative is the universal donor. So if you're O negative, you can actually give your blood to anybody. Anybody can receive that. I believe the next most common is A positive, followed by A negative. So honestly, any blood type is really needed. It goes to whoever needs it in the hospitals. So yeah, I wouldn't say that there's one specific blood type that we're looking for. Of course, if you are O negative, that's kind of like, if you donate with us, you will probably get called multiple times, but any blood type is needed.
Are there any artificial alternatives to blood?
No, there's not. Great question. Nope. Out of all the medical advances that have happened over the years, there's no way that we can manufacture it in a lab. We can't get it synthetically or anything like that. It has to come from a willing donor.
Has to come from a needle, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Just don't look at it. Just don't look. Yeah, it's a little one. Just don't look. Yeah, if you are,
So I am O negative, and I tried to go and donate one time, and I literally got so sick because there was other people and I could see their blood, and I was like, woo, and they were like, you need to go now because they
Yeah.
could tell I was about to faint. Are there certain tips and tricks you can give to people like me who would like to donate?
Yeah.
But apparently, unbeknownst to them, they don't like the sight of donated blood.
I totally get it. Here I am. I've done this for 10 years and I think I've only donated 3 times. So I get it. However, it is needed. What I suggest to a lot of people is just making sure you're really well prepared. So you want to make sure you drink a lot of water, be really well hydrated. That'll make your veins nice and plump. It'll make your whole donation experience a lot better. You want to eat. So make sure you eat a really good protein rich meal beforehand. Don't come in fasted. And then for me, when I do donate, I like to put headphones in and just kind of zone out a little bit. So if you are a little woozy with the sight of blood, I would keep your eyes directly where you need to keep them and don't do any scanning of the room. Maybe bring a book or something and then just focus on your 10 minutes of actual donation time. And it goes pretty quickly. So if you are a first time donor and you're nervous about it, honestly, the worst part is just the finger poke. We have to do a finger poke for iron. That actually is a really big deferral for women as well. If you're low iron or your hematocrit is low, you would be deferred. But anyways, we do a finger poke and that thing throbs for a couple days, but the actual donation part is pretty easy and straightforward. Yeah, I would just bring some
And you get a
headphones or book.
cookie at the end.
Yes, you
Usually
do.
get a
Yep.
cookie.
Cookies and juice. Any other questions? Nope. Perfect. Well, thank you. I appreciate your time. If you have anything else, just let me know before I head out. Thank you.
So on behalf of the Rotary Club, we'd like to give you a 4-way chest coin.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And if someone is interested in putting together something that we could do a club-wide donation, just get together with Eric because I feel like he was kind of interested in that. And I think that would be really cool if we could do that. I just want to make sure that we have enough people interested to make it happen. So, all right. Any other club announcements? So we have Chris Rothenbuehler, we have Christine Kilcup, and we have Lynn Tucker coming tonight. If anyone else can come and help, that would be amazing. Frank Wagner. Oh, thank you. And Mike Schweiger. Yay. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you. And then Christine, did we need someone to haul a couple of the small wheels, or can you fit those in your car? You have room for, okay. 2. Okay, perfect. I think we're all set. So if everyone can help clean up and put the chairs and the tables up, that would be great. We'll see you in 2 weeks.